Hello, everybody. Good day, good day, good day, good afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you're catching me from, okay? Because I have lots of people out there in the world looking at this. So, but hello, so good day. It's daytime, as you can tell, where I'm at. So, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I wanted to get going. I'm waiting on my guests to come, and hopefully, um, I'll send them the link again to see if he can log in. So I am Yvette McQueen, MD, emergency physician, travel doctor, and wellness lifestyle coach, a global physician on a mission to educate about health, travel wellness, and disease prevention. So I help travelers, frequent flyers, executives, professionals, whoever you're out there that want to stay healthy and safe while you're traveling so you can enjoy your adventures, your experiences, and also to help you to incorporate wellness into your daily life while you're traveling. So hopefully he'll come on soon because I am excited about this guest. Let me see, do I need to send him a link? You know how electronics go these days. I thought I sent a link. I'll get another one out there. Anyway, so it is, and I'm going to date this with, it's October 2021. Hi, people. We have been in a pandemic and we still are. Some people are like, well, what is traveling going to be like post-pandemic? What is it like now? Unfortunately, we are not post-pandemic. It's still going across the world. And that's what the pandemic means, is that the infection is affecting all the world. It has ups and downs. Luckily that it is coming down in the United States. Yay! But it hasn't changed. But traveling has been affected and it's different because of that. Guess what? I read some news today. So some places are opening up. Fiji. And I know a lot of people have been trying to get to the Southeast for that relaxation. Fiji and Bali. I know Bali is still requiring a 14-day quarantine. So no, not yet. But Fiji just opened up. And of course, their airlines are promoting it and sending out lots of deals on their Fiji Airlines. So if you've thought about going to Fiji as of November 1st, it is opened up back up to the United States. You have to be vaccinated. You have to take a test. But so there's some deals out there now that they're opening up. So that may be a consideration for your holiday early January plans, if you think about it. So it just opened up. So that's good to know. So while I'm waiting on my guest, let's see. I know I sent a link before. Where is my email? I'm going to talk about, let's see, copy link. And then I'll text it is what I'll do. Because sometimes people can't always get it from the email. There we go. So, traveling during the pandemic, that's what we're still in. Just, you know how to get, let me see. You can, there we go. Traveling during the pandemic. You can get my Traveling Through the Pandemic download. I do keep it updated. I just updated it. Was last week, was the beginning of October. I did update it last week. healthytraveltips.com. So you can get it about traveling during the pandemic. Some things, just minor changes from the summer, but it is updated as of October 1st, traveling during the pandemic. So healthytraveltips.com. It's a free download and you get it. And guess what? He's here. I'm excited. My guest is here. So, okay, I'm coming on so you can see my guest. And we're going to invite the guest to the stage. Yay!
Hello, Dr. McQueen. How are you?
I'm so excited to have you here with me.
Thank
like
you.
You're just next door.
Good. I'm happy. We're not quite, but you're absolutely right.
We're about 3,000 miles apart.
We are.
But that's okay. Okay, because soon we will be traveling again together. As I was talking
Yes.
about, we still are in a pandemic, but I'm okay with that. So I'm just going to take this ticker off here so everybody can see it. So I'm going to start. So the reason I'm having my guest on, I am starting season 2 of my podcast, and I'm calling it Traveling on Your Own Terms. So I think this is a great way to start season 2, Traveling on Your Own Terms, because I have someone here that made his own platform because he had to. So I have here the Fly Brother, the storyteller, the traveling expert, Ernest White II. I can start to give you his bio. Like, he's a blogger, he's a journalist. He CEO or Presidio Productions, and of course, the only Black male on TV travel show, Fly Brother with Ernest White II. And I'm going to let you finish introducing yourself. You go for it.
Well, thank you very, 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 very much, Dr. McQueen. Yvette, again, as I always tell people, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even be where I am. So, that is a necessary recognition. Thank you. And thanks to everyone who is here watching now and in the future. I'm Ernest White II, storyteller, explorer, producer, and host of television travel docuseries Fly Brother with Ernest White II, which is all about friendship and connection around the world. In every episode, I visit friends who bring me into their communities, show me what they love about the place, and we show the audience the whole world is our tribe. The series actually is now available at on television in the United States on PBS member stations, as well as on Create TV. But you can also stream us globally at pbs.org and Revry, which are 2 streaming services that are available to people no matter where they are. And I'm also the CEO and founder of Presidio Pictures, which is a film, television, and digital media studio centering BIPOC, LGBTQ+, and over 60 senior elder narratives. And, those are all voices that have always existed, but just haven't had the kind of amplification that they deserve. And our focus is on intelligent, empowering, diverse entertainment. And so all of that, we are now just launching into, we filmed season 2 of Fly Brother throughout the United States, from San Francisco to Puerto Rico to Natchez and Detroit and Hawaii and Alaska and so many other amazing places. And that is currently in post-production, and we expect to have that airing on PBS in January of 2022. And we're also pulling together an all Africa season. So yeah, we got a lot going on over here.
That's great. Okay.
But thank you for having me.
So I said you was a blogger, and I know you've lived in how many countries? 5 different countries other than the United States?
Yes, that's indeed the case.
And a journalist. But how did you, first of all, okay, I'm gonna give transparency. I'm sitting here sharing it. Let me just make sure I share it to everybody. Transparency here, everybody, that I met Ernest. I'm gonna tell you guys this. So everyone know I used to live in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, and he's actually a native of Jacksonville, Florida.
That's my hometown.
Yes, but yay, Jacksonville.
Duval.
But we didn't meet there. We did not meet there. We met in Egypt. We were both on a trip together. I had went there with a traveling group, and he went there to write about it because he was writing a story about it. And we met there. And as we was talking, of course, knowing that we both from Florida, we're like, oh my goodness, we meeting like thousands of miles away.
Yes.
And we became fast friends there. And I will get transparency. We're talking about the Fly Brothers show. I am executive producer, so I will give transparency there so that everybody know that, yes, I want you to watch the show. I want you to support the show.
And you know what, Dr. McQueen, I have to say this. I'm sorry for interrupting. I mean, you definitely walk the walk, I mean, people talk about wanting to be supportive of projects and want to see Black folks doing well and diverse media and that kind of thing. And that requires resources. It requires money. It requires energy and time and support and understanding. and you and a few other folks, my family included, and also many other Black women have shown up and been like, listen, here are some resources that we're able to offer you. It's not just we likes on social media, that's amazing and great, and we receive, but it's also when people have the opportunity and the ability to align with these projects, the actual support, the helping out with funds, the helping out with resources, that is really how these things come into reality. So again, thank you so much for just being one of the first people to provide a foundation for us.
I mean, when we were talking in Egypt, I let y'all know we were like chilling on a boat on the Nile. Okay, so
We
a
were
fancy
chilling
boat,
on the boat, and
a fancy boat. And he started to tell me about his project because it was still in
development at the
concept.
time.
Yeah, development. And I was like, oh, that sounds great. And I'm always being pushed to diversify myself. As you all know, that, I am, a medical mogul. So that means it's not just medicine that I'm looking at. I like to do other things. Of course, we all had our dream of being a actress or actor back then. But actually, during one of my stints, one of my downtimes while I was in Jacksonville, I did take a production class. So a TV production class. And so when he started telling me about that, I do like the behind the scenes part. I thought that was cool. So that's how I got into it. But you went from writing for travel journals and everything that to this. Why did you decide to do this?
Well, so like you mentioned, I mean, I've been a journalist for a while. I was living overseas as a magazine editor in Brazil, and after that, I was back and forth in the U.S. Between teaching on the university and high school levels. I used to teach English and social sciences while having a freelance writing career at the same time, and I kept a blog that talked about my international travels. It was called FlyBrother. And it was essentially the idea was to encourage and empower Black folks specifically, people in general, but Black folks specifically, to do more international travel, to go out in the world. And it started before Instagram even started. It started before the Black travel movement, and which Black folks have always been traveling, but this kind of surge that happened in the 2010s when people started seeing folks taking pictures in Dubai and Mykonos and Santorini and all that kind of stuff. That wasn't happening when I was first traveling. And so, I just kind of felt like it was my responsibility to provide insight and support for people who were interested in going outside the box and living lives of adventure and excitement. And so when I'm a graduate of Florida A&M University, Rattlers, HBCU in the house. And one of my friends from college, my brother Chester, was like, hey, listen, man, I'm a co-owner of a small startup television network, and I'm really interested in helping you develop a travel show. You got a great voice, you've got great stories that you can tell. You've done a little bit of TV work before, because that's true. I had been on a couple of episodes of a travel channel show, and he was like, we can't pay you, but we would it would be a non-exclusive agreement. So if you end up selling it to another network, that's great, and we'd also show you how to pull in advertising and that kind of thing. But we really want you to do this. And I was initially resistant to it. I was like, I write literature. I don't do television. And when I tell you, every other door in my life closed, to the point where that was the only thing left for me to do, is to lean into it. And I had been given all the gifts and abilities and skills. I knew how to tell a story. I knew how to craft a good story. I was blessed to have a lot of connections in the travel industry, having worked as a journalist at that point about 15 years. And so, the resources showed themselves. And one of the challenges was to figure out, not challenges, one of the I guess decisions was to choose a theme for the show. It was like, can't just be me traveling. Like, what's the central theme of it? Well, Bourdain at the time, bless him, was kind of had food travel on lock, and I'm not really a foodie like that. So I was like, well, I'm not interested in doing a food show. Architecture, which is one of my great loves, I can't say is the most exciting topic for a lot of people. Though I do actually feel like I might be able to make it exciting now at this point in my hosting career, but not when I first started. And so then it was like, well, what are the things that resonate with me out of all of my travels? And it was the friends, the people, the community that I was able to connect with over all of the years that I've been traveling, that I'm still in touch with now, because the technology lets us have all of our friends, on our phones, no matter where they are in the world, like we're talking right now, And it used to be a time when to connect with you, Dr. McQueen, I'd have to spend $6 a minute on a long distance phone call or send you a letter or a postcard. And now we've got the technology that allows us to be right next door and really build out relationships with people all over the planet and talk to them every day. And so that's kind of what I wanted my focus to be, which was the community that we build when we go out into the world, when we connect, when we're open and we share and we are having new experiences that we're not, that aren't limited by, oh, I never had that before, I'm not interested in it, or I never tasted that, or I've never done this before. That you can't be that way and expect to have a life that you love. And so I essentially, that's kind of how we built out the show. And while we were filming the first season, with the support of, again, Dr. McQueen and some other seed investors, Denise Barreto being one of them. She's also our other executive producer for season 1. Another sister. The startup network, my boys' cable channel, went out of business while we were filming. And so we ended up being a cart without a horse for a little while. And it was through a series of conversations with other people, including Michaela Malozzi of Bare Feet with Michaela Malozzi on PBS, that I got connected to the public television sphere. And, it was a lot of false starts and a lot of pushed back debut dates, but we eventually were able to deliver, and the series debuted last May 2020.
Wonderful. I mean, you're talking my language of connection, friends and connecting,
Yes.
and it's friends supporting each other, but friends can. So you storytell about friends around the world, but you also talk about the connections to make it actually happen, and that's what's so good. Because you went to, let me see, I'm gonna see if you did Brazil
For season 1.
Yeah, season 1, Brazil. I mean, so people, if you want to travel and you can't actually get on a plane right now, travel with him to, what is it? So Brazil, Sweden.
Yes. We started off.
Tajikistan.
Yep.
Did I say that right?
Yes, Tajikistan. We started off in Sao Paulo. We did Tbilisi, Georgia, Toronto, Canada, Northern Namibia, Stockholm, Sweden, Mumbai, India, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Tajikistan, Cape Town, South Africa, Casablanca, Morocco, and Bogota, Colombia. That's all in season 1, which again, now available. You can Google it, FlyBrother with Ernest White II. The episodes are at pbs.org. They're also at Revry, REVRY, which is a queer streaming platform. You can also go to our website, flybrother.net. We also have flybrother.com now. Thank you, Scott Brills, my phenomenal web guy, for snagging that. But you can go there, sign up for our mailing list to find out more about how to watch the show and things coming down the pike. And like I said, season 2 is all American. And what that means is we went to some of the most beautiful places in the South, North, East, and West, and talked to all the different types of people that we have in the U.S. from all different backgrounds and all different cultures. I mean, the U.S. is a nation of nations.
Yes.
It is incredibly diverse.
Yes.
And the whole world is there and gonna be there. So we might as well enjoy each other. Like, we might as well find out more about each other and share and become, friends and neighbors, because like, you can't keep people from, it's what people do, it's what we do. So let's really enjoy that, as opposed to trying to like push people back and out.
But it's also broadening your mind when you deal with different cultures and different people.
100%.
Traveling around the United States working, I've noticed that, one, as we like to say, medicine, all people bleed, but also all people still care. And that the whole culture and learning their culture. So you actually filmed season 2 during the pandemic.
We did film season 2 over about 2.5 months, 10 episodes. It was back to back. It was insane.
Well, that's quick.
it was very quick, but at the same time, we didn't know. I mean, production is a challenge in the best of times when you're trying to um, align with a whole bunch of different moving parts. And so in this case, we had the challenge of also having to take COVID tests, having to make sure that everyone was spaced appropriately with the 2 meters or 6 feet of separation. We had to make sure that, everyone's when vaccines did start rolling out, we all got them because again, we were out and about, we were working.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone, and I'm, I believe in just being in alignment with both the science and the spirit, because they're not separate things. And so for me, it was like, listen, I don't have time to be worried about, like, I got work to do, and so anyway, that we early on, we made sure that everybody had whatever requirements were necessary for us to go to the places where we went to film. We had to make sure we had our insurance in place and a whole bunch of other things. So we were able to really, some of the locations that we filmed in, like Newark, for example, had just opened up the weekend, 2 days before we arrived. And so we were kind of, from a filming perspective, that was actually spectacular because we didn't
Nobody
have a
was out
lot of
there.
people. Exactly. We didn't have a lot of people to interfere with our shoot. So, but then other places, by the time we got to Alaska and Hawaii, it was after Memorial Day. People were out and about, and it was a challenge even getting rental cars and some of the other resources that you need when you're trying to film in a large geographic area. But we did it anyway. And
You had your doctor on speed dial. I'm just going to throw a
we
plug
did
in
have
on me.
Dr. McQueen whenever, and one of our crew members needed a prescription, had some back pain and needed to get that taken care of. And we were in the midst of filming in the beautiful, verdant Adirondack Mountains of northern New York, which has like one CVS pharmacy for the whole region that was closing in about 12 minutes. And the GPS said it'd take us 11 minutes to get there. So, it was that kind of a production. But I mean, honestly, that's film and television production, which really just means it's life.
Right. So once again, the back scenes of TV production isn't what you see on the front scene.
No, not at all. And it's not. I'm gonna stop kind of like, people think it's social media. People think it's just like, oh, you got your camera and you go out and do something. And yes, the quality of these phones these days when it comes to actually filming things, that's great, but that still doesn't mean that it's an easy just, I'm gonna film that and have it up on television. No, there's so many things that go into it that take time and energy and effort, and again, resources. So it's shocking when you have conversations with people who finally show up on a shoot and they see what you're doing and they're like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
How many hours do
yeah.
it take to produce one segment?
So it just depends on what you're doing. We've sometimes taken up to 12 hours. We film sometimes 12 or 14-hour days.
Wow.
We usually take 4 days to film a half-hour episode, and that would be in one city. So for example, in Nashville, in Natchez, in Newark, in Detroit, in San Francisco, we could film in about 4 days. When you are covering a region, even though it's still only going into a 30-minute slot, let's say the other places we filmed, Kansas, Puerto Rico, Alaska, Hawaii, and the Adirondacks, those were 6 to 8 days of filming for the 30 minutes. And it's because of the travel time. It's giving my crew a rest. It's giving myself a rest. We're not, when we're filming, it's work. And you have to be on, you have to be witty, you have to be with it. You have to, if someone's bringing food out, you have to think of something interesting to say. You have to engage with the server as well as the chef, if that chef is there telling you what the food is about, plus the person that you're sitting there with. So and sometimes things have to be done multiple times, and you've got, again, like a lot of things, background noise and other things happening, and you may have a headache that day. And so all of those things kind of factor into it. And so, you may end up exhausted by the time you get home that night.
I bet 2.5 months in all those cities, like you said, the time in between. And I know a lot of times it's like, okay, we finished shoot, let's jump on an airplane, let's jump in the car and go to the next site. But the
Yeah.
travel is not a resting period either.
No, it's
Travel,
not. It's
no,
not.
not.
It's not a
Yeah.
resting period. And sometimes it was also before making the flight, we had to go get the COVID tests and do it within the window necessary to have the results before we were supposed to leave.
Mhm.
And so that was always a challenge. It was sometimes making sure we had that. Flying from San Francisco to Puerto Rico, we missed our morning flight because the check-in time, everybody had to check in at the same time at the kiosk to submit our luggage. And at that airport, the luggage cutoff was 45 minutes ahead of time, not 30.
Oh, yes.
And it was 30. We were trying to check in at like 38 minutes before the flight. So not only did we miss it, but then we were put on a flight, and we were supposed to leave at 7 a.m. We were put on a 1 p.m. flight. And that got us we went to Dallas and we were delayed going to Puerto Rico by about 3 hours. So we got in at 3 a.m.
Oh my goodness. And wanted to start production that morning.
Correct. But that's 3 a.m. Puerto Rico time. We had been up since
you went
3
from West
a.m.
Coast
Yeah,
to
we went from
East
San Francisco.
Coast. Yeah.
Yes. So my point in all of that is there is definitely a work element to the whole thing. Like it's not as it's not relaxing in many ways. It's rewarding, no doubt, but relaxing is not the word that I would use to describe film production.
So as the doctor and the wellness person, I'm going to say, what do you do to keep yourself healthy and relaxed and in your immune system? What do you do?
I meditate regularly, at least an hour a day, if not more, and fortify myself spiritually with books and YouTube videos and conversations with people who are also aligned with the belief that, we are not just these physical bodies and that we have to take care of our spiritual, emotional, and mental selves just as much. So there is that, and that is important to me because that also is how I can go into a place of positivity and a place of joy and zen when stuff hits the fan, because stuff hits the fan. Like it doesn't matter what. So then it's how you are able to deal with it. And it and then when I do get snippy or want to throw stuff, I also just have to give myself the grace to feel that way. But anyway, so that's one of the components. I try to get as much sleep as I can, though I will say that that's not been up to now something that I've been successful in terms of let's say 8 hours. I would love to get 8 hours of sleep. I say that I would love to. It's been so long since I did. I don't even know if how I would feel with 8 hours of sleep. But sleep, water. I have coffee, but I have twice as much water. And I went from being chronically dehydrated, and this is self-diagnosed, because I would feel dry. I would have headaches. And when I started to dial down the amount of caffeine and amp up the amount of water, my headache started going away. So there's that. There's occasionally I would have to have like Pedialyte or some kind of electrolyte. And I say that because there's a lot of energy expenditure when you're out on the road. And so sometimes you do need to like fortify with certain things. And then when it comes to the food, I am on a nutrition plan with a brother, JC Collins. His Instagram is JC the Finest. And it is very much centered around weight workouts and some other things. But you can't out-train bad nutrition. And sometimes because you can't get into the gym, like I will bring, I think most of the carbs are either rice-based or oat-based. So no like wheat-based carbs in this nutrition plan. So I'll take my rice cakes. I'll take some protein powder with me on the road. I may grab some Quest bars, and then when it comes to the food, salad. If we go to a restaurant, salad plus meat, veg plus meat. Minimize the salt, and I know that's not everybody's thing. That's not everybody's ministry, and that's great. But when I want to look, chiseled on camera, um, and I'm saying that to say, it takes discipline. It takes
Mm-hmm.
discipline. It takes discipline. It takes discipline. And it is tough when I'm out and if, feeding me. I do enjoy food. I didn't want to do a food show mostly because I was afraid. Like, this ain't gonna be good. Y'all gonna have me
Oh,
puffy.
wow.
But no, it is holistic in that way. But I like the water, the joy, the positive
Yeah.
attitude,
Yes.
honestly, I'm not a sickly person. It doesn't mean that I, if something feels wrong, a twinge in my throat, then I'm getting that throat coat, that tea, the
Yeah.
herbal tea. Like I'm, you're doing these things
Right.
preventatively,
Right.
and it doesn't mean I won't see a doctor. It just means that I'm constantly trying to keep this machine in tip-top operating shape.
Wonderful.
And so, and it does mean you have to pivot because you don't always get a chance to cook the way you want to cook. So then it's you get into the habit of making the decisions. You get into the habit
Mm-hmm.
of saying, all right, I am going to have this fruit. I am going to bring my almonds and something else. And then that way I'm less likely to order, because I love Wendy's. Let's not get it twisted, but I'm less likely to feel called to
Mm-hmm.
that. And at a certain point, and I think it's important. I'll even say this: when I was in high school, I was 360 pounds, so I
Wow.
had a weight loss journey, and so it's
Mm-hmm.
always at the forefront of my mind, or not anymore, because again, like I'm in the habit of just choosing things that are in highest alignment with who and how I am and want to be. And if I slip and have an eclair, or if I fall into a basket of fries, hey,
Start all over the next
bless my
day.
heart anyway. And that's exactly right. I'll start, I'm vegan every morning until that bacon hits my mouth. And then I just try again the next day.
Oh, that sounds, you're speaking my wellness language, that water and sleep and
Yeah.
vegetables. Yes, that sounds wonderful, especially since you're on the road all the time. Like you said, it is about discipline, but don't deny yourself, like you said.
No. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So
it's
great.
it's we have to have treats in life too,
Yes.
and at a certain point, some of those things that we used to treat ourselves with, they don't align anymore. They don't, like, I can't really go to get fast food like I used to, because it tastes like plastic to me. And certain things, but it's nothing is wrong.
Mhm.
I think at this stage in life, it's like, all right, so just make another choice the next time.
There
You
you go.
chose something and you didn't like it. Okay, great. We create our own experiences. We really, really do. And that's something that I'm learning more and more, how to master that creation. But there's nothing wrong. Part of that mastery is recognizing, like, oh, well, oops, the way you would tell a baby. Oops, that's all right, baby.
That sounds wonderful. Okay, great. So we're getting toward the end here, and you said you have an upcoming season 3 that you're looking
Yes.
up to do.
We
Yeah.
are absolutely right now in the process of organizing some amazing experiences on the continent, the motherland, Africa, which we were blessed to go there before to film 4 of our episodes for season 1.
Mhm.
I used to live in Cape Town for a little while. I've been to a few other amazing places. I've been to, Egypt and Cape Verde and Mali and Senegal and Kenya. And so we're excited about going to some of those places as well. Dr. McQueen and I are having conversations about Botswana. We are aligning with Zimbabwe, possibly Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda,
Malawi.
Malawi is always. I mean, it's the challenge is, how do we
Yeah.
we got 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Africa has 54 countries.
Country.
It's
Yeah.
got tremendous diversity of experience, of cultures, of people and places, and there's no way that one season can do it justice at all. So it's really like a little sampler platter, and so we're just aligning with the destinations that are able to show up, that have resources that will kind of let us do what we do. And so at the moment, we are just creating the container. We said we want to do an Africa season. And so as in talking about it, the right people show up. That's exactly how Dr. McQueen and I connected. We aligned because we just happened. I didn't expect to meet someone who was able to say, you know what, I like what you're doing. How can I help? But it was because of just putting it out there in the universe and having the conversations and then letting God do her thing.
Right. And yeah, we have a Mocha Angel Network that also helped out. I will shout them out. So
thank you. And Dr. Mary Fleming, who is
Dr. Mary
also,
Fleming.
yes, one of our lead supporters, and the other doctors in that organization. I mean, listen, y'all, I'm telling you, it's Black women saving us all out here. I don't care.
Okay, good. Yeah, our
Thank
Mocha
you.
Dr.
Thank y'all.
Angel Network is out there. Yeah. So let's see. You have a link. So there's a link where people can actually donate, right?
Yes, we have a partnership with Filmmakers Collaborative. Filmmakers Collaborative is a nonprofit 501c3 organization that supports film and television projects, independent producers. We're an independent production house. And so obviously we are not a for-profit. We are a for-profit, but Filmmakers Collaborative is a nonprofit organization. And in partnering up with us, they take a little bit of that support, but then they're able to provide the tax deductible paperwork that if you give us a charitable contribution, you are able to receive that paperwork and have this deducted from your taxes. And so we are able to receive many different amounts, but if you're able to show up with $500, then we can recognize you on our website as a supporter of public television, as a believer in diverse storytelling, and as a fly brother, a fly sister yourself. And if you're able to come on board with $1,000 or more, we're able to feature you on screen with your name. The way when you watch PBS, you see the charitable contributors, you see the sponsors listed at the top and bottom of every episode. So you would have both your name on camera as well as on the website. But we accept and receive humbly any amount that you're able to support with to help us keep FlyBrother in the air and on the air.
Okay, great. Because I have the link, which is a little bit long, but it may want to do
it. One click
screenshot. But I went ahead and got a URL for you, baby.
Dr. McQueen, I see. Yowza.
FlyBrotherDonate.com. For us upper seasoned people and a little bit challenged people to be like, okay,
I can't do all that typing.
Click
exactly.
Click it. No.
FlyBrother.
So those that's listening or looking, FlyBrotherDonate.com. And that that is the charitable donation. You can actually donate to the award-winning. I didn't say that. You had 2 awards. Award-winning.
Yes.
×2 travel show with the only Black, and I'm going to say Black African-American male. Look at that award. Oh,
yes. But we got this. So again, thank you, Dr. McQueen. This is the Public Media Award for Independent Production last year. Okay. We got the People's Silver Telly Award. We didn't get the Emmy, but that's all right. Next time.
Hey, we got more to do.
That's right. And I do need to do a slight correction. I'm the only Black male travel host on national TV.
Okay.
And I say that because we do have our brother Fitz, who is on TV in New York. And there's a few other people, I think, who may have some things locally, but on national TV. But you know what? Honestly, there's enough sky for every bird. Yes. We are very much supportive of everybody else. I don't want to be the only. But at the moment, it is what it is. And I'm blessed and honored to be in this role. And I want to make sure that people recognize that it is a role of service. I'm here to help people feel seen, empowered, and loved. That is my mission here on this planet. And it starts with myself, obviously, to make myself feel seen, empowered, and loved. And then I can fill up from from a full cup.
There you go. There you go. What? Okay. Once again, where can we catch your show?
Yes, you can catch it right now on PBS. Your local PBS affiliate may be rolling it right now. It may come back around if it's not. Create TV also continuously shows the series season 1, and then also you can stream it at pbs.org
Mm-hmm.
or Revry, Revry.com. That's revry.com, which is a queer streaming service. And yeah, we just, excited to even say that people who care. And soon, I do believe we may be streaming on. We may be available on a few airlines. We're working on that right now. We had we've got some traction, so that may be on your next flight. You might be able to catch an episode or two of Fly Brother.
And I'd be like, I know him. Hey, I know him.
Hey, that's
Hey,
right.
look.
And also remember, please, you join our mailing list at FlyBrother.com. You can also find us at YouTube. We got a few episodes there, but we have some other material that's coming down the pike at our YouTube channel, FlyBrother.com. Sorry, YouTube.com/C/FlyBrother. We're on all our social medias, Instagram and Facebook and all of that. So
As
we
FlyBrother. Yes.
as FlyBrother. I think Facebook, it's like facebook.com/FlyBrotherFly, but you'll
Mm-hmm.
see our logo on the FlyBrother fan page and all of that.
Okay.
So again,
Great.
Dr. McQueen, thank you.
Great. Thank you. You gave us, I was going to say, give me some tips, but you gave us the tips while we were talking about tips of keeping positive energy, the whole connecting with people, understanding cultures, and also your travel, stay healthy tips. Hey, you just did my job for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and you're amazing. It's and anytime we get a chance to hang out and chat and laugh,
Yes.
it's a joy, it's a pleasure, an honor, and a privilege.
Yes.
And thanks everybody that's out there watching. I mean, Dr. McQueen's amazing, and so it's phenomenal that you all are here to listen to her and support her. And her
Remember,
mission
guys.
to
Yeah,
heal the world.
Thank you. Remember, you can donate once again for his show, FlyBrotherDonate.com. That's FlyBrotherDonate.com, FlyBrotherDonate.com. So I'm signing out. You know who I am. I am Yvette McQueen, MD. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn at Yvette McQueen MD and Yvette McQueen MD. That's right. Yeah, that's who I am. And then on Instagram, Dr. Travel 911. So I'm so glad that you could join us. And I want everyone to travel safe, travel well, wear your mask, wash your hands. Peace and love. Bye, everybody.